transformation in the economy, a digital transformation. But it's not what you think it is. In this transformation, they don't want you to make money. Seriously, let me ask you something, and you answer to yourself and think, now, did your school, college, or university teach you how to make money, or how to preserve it, or at least how to grow your money from what you have? Say, I'm doing my doctoral and I did study in Middle East, India, UK, Korea, and let me tell you something, no one ever taught me that. So now if you believe they are gonna let you make money, that's the best thing you can think, sitting there without making money. But if you really want to make money, think critically. So now, if you think they will allow you to make money easily, you will be proven wrong. That's easily understandable. When the world understands that XRP is not a security, why is the SEC still not removing the black layers from their eyes? Because for me, it's clear. The aim of Ripple, the company, is to make XRP a global reserve asset. And they are working with central banks around the globe to make that happen. One way or the other. They say central bank digital currencies. Okay, cool. So if a digital asset is bridging them, it's still the reserve asset. And the central bank still has their own central bank digital currency. They are happy. So it's kind of a win-win situation as far as the central banks are looking at. So teaching them the benefits, how to use this new infrastructure of money is what Ripple is doing right now. Okay, cool. That's all the fundamentals. But what about the technicals? How do you see the price fluctuating? Now we use technicals to understand and to reduce the confusion, right? This is a 5-minute chart of XRP. For me, this is completely non-understandable. This is noise. For me, I know there are guys who say I make ton of money trading this, but at least for me, that's hard. And that's why I go to at least a daily chart. Now, yeah, I start with 4 hour to look at short to medium term price fluctuation. But to understand the trend, I use a daily. Say, for example, here on a daily, what you see is the MACD is crossing to the downside. We got a bounce here, but at present, we are crossing to the downside. The RSI is still inside that flag range, hasn't gone down yet. Okay, so I step a little back, go on a 3-day chart as you can see here. And here the MACD is still bullish, RSI is still climbing. So that's again bullish. Now from there, I move towards a weekly chart of XRP and this is what I see. It's still bullish for me. The MACD is upside, the RSI is trending higher. So that's all you actually need, right? So if you want the explanation of how these has to be eyed when the market is booming like this and how to make money, watch without changing the channel. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. You see, XRP is the best asset. Yes, I also do agree that. And I bet on that too. But the reality is this. When XRP is staying there, you can see, yeah, it has done quite well, but not that bad considering other assets in last 30 days. But when you look at the first quarter, it hasn't done much. When you look at 1 year, yeah, it hasn't done much considering other assets which have done enormously well, right? Why is that? Even though this asset is one of the best for its use case, solving the real pain points, you still see others doing very well. So if you have XRP in your portfolio and if you're trying to increase your XRP, the units of XRP which you have, what would be you looking at? You should be looking at all these opportunities popping up, trying to make money, right? If you want to have more XRP without putting in more liquidity from your hand, how can you do that? You can enter into the markets and make more money and then put it back into the XRP. That's what I do. That's what my patrons do. Now you can ask, how do you actually do that? So for me, I post charts regularly with opportunities, highlighting this is going to happen. This is a possibility which you should be looking at. And then you come here and look at the assets which we are posting. You can see the gains. Now, these are not just literal numbers. Say this is dot. I posted this one and after which I posted this one when we were nearing the target. Then this is for Ren, we were moving towards this point. Now when you go back into Ren and look at it, we are moving towards target, right? Then see BTC, when we were here around 44, I told 57 is what we are eyeing it. Now that was not way back, it was February 8th, right? Now it's 20th when we hit this level. Just 12 days, 40% gain in an asset like BTC is actually huge. See, then I highlighted this one. When we were nearing the target, I told you can start taking your profits because the price is slowly slowing down. So it's better to do that, right? Now, it's not only one or two assets which we do. We kind of do almost every asset which has that potential. Now, yeah, there are 4,000 assets in this asset class, but we'll trade not every one of them, right? We'll trade 50, 60 or even 70, which has that potential where you can make money and there is still liquidity in the market so that you can exit the market with the profits you make. Say this one Matic, if you're looking at February 9th, I posted there. And now if you go back all the way down and look at Matic, you will understand how it has done in this quarter, in this month. It did really well. So look at that, 42%, 420% in a month, 700% in a quarter. So there are assets which actually is doing this on a daily basis. Say we posted Swissborg previously. So all of these are opportunities. Now, being an XRP guy, why would you actually do that? You don't want to put more money in from your end. Instead, you make money from the market and put it back. Now, that's the way how I see it. I don't know how you see it, but this is what I do. So if you are here to do that, you can follow me on the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Now, let's enter charts. Say this is a daily chart. As I was explaining, we have a negative cross here in the MACD, right? We are crossing to the downside. So on a daily, it's negative. Now you go to the RSI to understand where the trend line lies, and you get the first one like this. Okay, cool, you understand that. And the second one was about here. We were kind of moving like this, right? We didn't have an exact bottom there, but the trend was having higher momentum than this one. Now, if we are going to the downside, what would you be looking at? To get a bounce here. So this is a daily chart, right? Now we go back onto a 3-day chart, right? So to a live 3-day chart, we'll just move on to this one. So that's a live 3-day chart. So in here, what you'll be doing is that you are still looking at a pattern where you're moving to the upside. So I'll just zoom into the RSI and I'll show you what I see. See, this is the previous highs in the RSI. When you plot to the upside, what you see here is that we are reaching a support. Now, you have a doubt, I'll just delete that and use a horizontal line. So you will see what I'm talking about. See, this particular area where I'm popping it, I'll just take a box and show you that is a support area, resistance area. Now go back all the way. You can manage this one a little bit up, down, where you are precise. Now, it's always better if you put a support resistance zone instead of a support line, right? So that you understand where the price bounced, where it reversed, and all the other stuff. Now, if you follow this, you can see here the price bounced. So that was a support. Here, it was resisted. So that's a resistance. Now, this is the support resistance zone. Now, following this have given me a lot of opportunities and targets. This has increased my hit rate from 50-50 all the way up to 90% and mostly 70 to 80%, right? Those who follow me understand that. Now you look at this particular line, you can see that this particular line has been acting as a support, resistance, support all the way back, right? So that's 58 in RSI. Now we are just above that and we are coming back to that support level. So if we get a bounce from here in RSI on a 3-day chart, that's great. But look at the price. It's at a resistance and it's moving to the downside, right? So the daily is also suggesting the same trend. And as you can see, we went to the resistance, came down, went to the resistance, came down, went to the resistance, did the fake out, came back down. Now we are at this resistance. Now if you've been listening to this channel all the way from here or at least a year, you will understand whatever we tried to explain happened in one way or the other. So now, what are you looking at? If the RSI bounces here, then yes, that's a positive stuff and you're looking at a bounce through here. Otherwise, if the RSI is breaking through the downside, then you would be looking at the RSI to move to this support level. And if that happens, then yes, you would be having the price coming all the way back down here. But remember, you will have supports at different areas. Say this one would be a support which acted as a support here towards this particular point. Okay, so if we put that horizontally correctly, this line, say 0.34, is that. Now, to get a clarity, you'll just delete all of this and look what that 0.34 really means. Say now you come towards that area, yeah, 0.34. Now you plot it and see what really is there. It was a resistance all the way here. So if you are coming back to that level, that means it's again a buy zone, in which if you change the color here just for the namesake to understand it clearly, this was kind of the accumulation zone which you had. Now we are doing the reaccumulation zone, and yes, I do agree that the RSI throw all the way down during that SEC drama. I agree. Now, if you want to get more understanding on this, I'll actually take you to Ether chart, say Ether USD, and I'll just show you what we actually got here, right? So if you want to put that into perspective, you can put that line there, and then look at this. This was accumulation zone in Ether. Now if you look at the reaccumulation zone here, which was playing out before the markup actually started, you can see this. Now the markup started from there, but the range was so tight here, right? In Ether, that range was so tight. One of the reasons for that is the RSI gave you a Adam and Eve pattern, right? It showed an Adam here, and then it showed you a Eve pattern here. So that was an Adam and Eve, and now that's not precise, but you got what I was saying, right? Now similarly, if you are entering back into the altcoin market cap to understand what really is happening there, now we are moving a lot. But at the same point, you do have to understand this is near the all-time high. And when you go back in history to understand what we used to do when we near an all-time high for the first time after the bear market, look at this. Now this is kind of a self-explanatory view you are getting here. You understand that the price is coming back after the bear market towards the all-time highs level. Now what do you see here? Yeah, we dropped a little bit. I agree. So if you want to measure that in terms of percentage, to be precise, you can see there was a 40% drop from the top. Now that's on altcoin market, right? Now you'll have a question that majority are saying there is going to be a huge crash. Now, if you are talking about BTC and a huge crash, it should be 60, 70, 80%. Otherwise, that's not a huge crash. Why do I say that? I take you back to this market and to show you what really was happening when you reached that all-time high first time. Now, that's Bitcoin. It's not at all-time high right now, but you can see what I'm pointing you towards. You take that measurement from top to the bottom and you reach similar to that one. Here it's 35, there was 40%, right? So the drop was almost there. Now, yeah, we had some targets which we reached clearly. I showed you here, right? We were expecting this pattern to play out and this target, and we reached that level. Now that we are correcting after reaching the target, this is one of the reasons I highlight. Say, the time frame would be different. I post a chart, you may not see it at that time. Say, if I post a chart in my evening session, the US guys and the European guys would be watching that. If I'm posting it late, Asian would miss that. Now that depends, right? If I'm posting in the morning, Asians would get that and others would miss. So in a similar manner, you always get your profit the way we strategize, right? Now, what is something which you have to look at here? This is the bottom and you're connecting the bottom and it's moving to the upside. So now that was kind of the standard deviation. You can argue that because the next thing, if you're looking at that, it's a slowly rising support. Now, if you look at the general trend in RSI and price, you can still see that the movement is to the upside, right? You take the exact point here and then plot it. It's moving to the upside, right? Now, you have a short-term trend running here and the support is like this. So if the price is going to come back down a little bit and bounce, it's completely fine. Why? Because when you move on to a weekly chart, this is what you see. you come here, you look at this. This was the resistance. Here, that area became the support, and we are still moving to the upside. So if you delete these lines and look at this asset is going parabolic. But the question is, how long it can continue that movement? Now, you look at RSI reaching this particular area from the all-time highs, or double that. You can put, say this was the all-time high, you are putting 100% and it's somewhere here, and you can actually put a vertical line there to understand what really was happening. We were near, then we came back down, we went back, we came back, we went back. So it was like a back and forth movement all the way till that 20,000, and now we are moving to the upside here. So you had that rounded bottom, then you move to the upside. But macro trend, yes, it's not like $1 million like others are saying. At least I don't see that. Now I can be proven wrong, but personally I won't bet Bitcoin right now, because for me the targets are reached. I'm out of that asset. I won't actually do that. Now, why do I say all of this? Now we'll take you guys back to XRP again on a weekly. And on a weekly, this is what I see. I can't consider this as the first wave, because there was not huge impulsive wave following correction and then continuation pattern. Now, I think some of you understood that, but some of you didn't. Say this is the impulsive move which we are talking about, right? Then you got a corrective pattern where you corrected like this. Then again, you got a continuation pattern. So that's the direction of the impulse. So that was your first wave. Now, if you are looking at that on a monthly chart, the same stuff, nothing different, the same stuff. You got an impulsive move. Now the line is not straight. Instead, I'll just use an arrow. I think that's way better way of representing that. Now this just happened. Okay, cool. Then you got a corrective wave which moved like this all the way till the downside. Now I see guys saying, okay, go look at XRP on a monthly. You can see it was just a pump and dump. And the way I'm looking at this, you kind of have a tight range here where you broke above, or at least you can see we broke above here or here. It doesn't matter, because we broke above that. Then you came back all the way down, retested that level, and then bounced. For me, that's a valid breakout, coming back, retesting and bouncing. But I don't know how others say this or others explain this, but at least for me, that's huge positive news. Why? Because on a monthly chart, you are still having this bullishness in the RSI, right? If you're going in to look at the RSI, it's 55. And whenever we are above, for example, XRP was around 61, we are way bullish. Now we are all the way up to 55, and we just need to go to the upside. Now look at the trend where RSI is moving. It's still trending to the upside. So if you are a guy with time, patience and discipline, you already understand this month still has a week more to go, and then the monthly candle can close in green. Now when you go to the roof of this, you see the pattern was near here. We came all the way back. Now, when we say that, you do have to understand, if you close there and then another candle opened there and came back, now that's a resistance for you, right? People will tend to put sell position, or at least take profits in that level. So as we go through that with volume, we will be able to break that level. Now, short term, what do you see short term? This is what everyone asks me. So if I really want to show you guys the short term, it's going to be a little bit noisy in short term. So even though I use 4-hour chart, I'll still say that. Now, if you connect this top here, and extend that, you can see that the line is trending to the downside. Now, that was the top. Now, if you connect the bottom, you're still seeing something similar. Okay, so the trend line would be exactly like this, where the RSI is right now at the support or trying to break to the downside. Now why I'll say try to breaking to the downside, because the MACD is also doing something similar. If you connect this, you get the same trend, you're going to the downside. Okay, now what is the price doing? It was moving to the upside, and it's kind of breaking that level, reaching 0.5. Now this is why on a daily chart at first I showed you the MACD is cruising to the downside. That's on a daily, but when you step back on a 3-day or a weekly, you get even more bullish attitude. So what are we right now looking at? Okay, zoom a little bit out and then talk clearly, right? You're not only looking at this particular trend inside. Now, we need a candle close after that to get a confirmation. Right now, it's not there. So if you just step back a little bit, you can actually even move into a 12-hour chart and look at the same stuff and try to draw the line which you see is valid right now. It's moving something like this. Okay, now that was that trend. Now from here, that's the bottom of this line. If you draw this, you kind of get to see the trend is moving like this. So even right now, if you break, you are having different support levels. Now if you are a trader, yeah, it do matter. You have a lot of time to stick with the charts, 24/7, and then trade this market against the high frequency trading bots. And if you're so lucky, you will win. But those who are investors who are looking to accumulate this asset, those who are net buyers of this asset, want the price a little bit down so that they can buy. Now, at the same time, you do have to understand this was the previous level where we had resistance here, support here, and we are reaching there. So if this should be a fake out, then we should go up from here. But if we break down, then you're looking all the way down to the next level, which is here 0.41, and then entering into the support zone at 0.36. But keep an eye here till 0.49. If we bounce from there, then you're looking for a bounce above the first level 0.59, second level 0.63 to invalidate these bearishness. So now, for a couple of minutes just to look at the technicals and then the fundamentals here to combine them, it's really bullish. When Ripple executives highlight this, they're working with central banks, which we already knew. The proof of concept is being running there, and they are all understanding what the ledger is about. And they do understand how it handles, right? So when you come at the bottom, not all of this, I'll just highlight one thing. Across times, we have developed several use cases. Now, ODL, it is a 10 trillion capital addressed, and our volume of transaction grew 12 times since 2019. Again, it's ODL, on-demand liquidity, using XRP. It's not just RippleNet, the software. It's about the asset, on-demand liquidity. The line of credit is provided on XRP ledger. It's XRP. Those who don't understand this will go sell this asset and move completely into another asset instead of making profits here and moving it there. Now that's completely up to you. This is what I do. Now if you want to do what I do to get these kind of targets and take these kind of profits at the right time, you can join the Patreon. Right now we are at 890 patrons. If I'm wrong, they won't be following me right now. There would be. Now understand, if I post 10 charts, usually 7 to 8 of them are accurate. Now, you can be that lucky guy taking, 7 to 8 trades positive, so you don't lose anything. But do think if you lose one trade, you are still making profit in the others. But if you turn out to be that unlucky guy who only take 1 or 2 trade and that's wrong, I can't do anything. If you are there looking at the fundamentals and then the technicals, you're going to make a ton of money. Why? Because it's not only one chart we're posting here. It's tons of charts, updating, right? One chart, then an update for that, where we are and how we move and other stuff. But do remember, I'm a human being. I have my personal life. I'm a research scholar. This is not my 24/7 job. This is my hobby. And I try to update you guys whenever I can. So whenever you get these charts, you can look at the date here, how many number of charts are being posted on a particular day. Say this is 12. You see a chart from here all the way, you're moving down, 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 down. Now, yeah, you can scroll down and you'll still see a lot of opportunities being posted for different assets just a week ago. And now you go see this and you'll understand how many of them just fulfilled, right? Now, if you liked the video, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you received value, do appreciate that. If you want to extend your support, you can use the PayPal or the Patreon link given in the description, or the XRP wallet address instead if you want to do that in XRP. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.